Hello everyone, in this session we will be talking about the questions that have been asked by UPSC in internal security. In fact, this year they have asked 3 questions, one of 10 marks and 2 questions of 15 marks each. The first question is with respect to narco-terrorism. It says, explain how narco-terrorism has emerged as a serious threat across the country and suggest suitable measures to counter narco-terrorism. In the introduction part, we can always mention the recent context, like one of the report by INCB. This report of 2023 has highlighted the concern, they have highlighted the concerns with respect to drug trafficking and drug cultivation in the northeastern state of Manipur, along with an observation that the 39% of the opiate users, they reside in South Asia. And they have also shown concerns towards the influx of heroin from Southwest Asia. So in the main body, the two aspects need to be covered, that how it has emerged as a serious threat and what are the suitable measures that can be taken to counter such threats. How narco-terrorism has emerged as a threat to internal security, and also what can be countermeasures that can be taken to combat it. First part, that how this narco-terrorism has emerged as a threat. So you see, this money that has been earned out of this drug trafficking, it can be used for funding the terrorist activities. Like you see, the traffickers and the terrorists, they share a kind of symbiotic relationship where the survival of one depends on the other. So that money that is earned by these narco activities, drug trafficking related activities, it is used to fund the terrorist activities. In fact, a pattern has been observed in Jammu and Kashmir, where the terrorists infiltrating from Pakistan, they are developing a nexus with the drug addicts and they elude them by giving them cash and by giving them drugs in order to get the logistical support. Apart from this, it is also having its own social impact. Social impact of which can be seen in the form of increased crime rate, whereby these traffickers or these youth involved in you can say all these drug trafficking related activities, they are involved in a number of socio-economic crimes also. Then apart from that, widespread addiction among the youth population, as we can see the case of Punjab, whereby Punjab has become a new hub for the drug trafficking related activities. Apart from that, you see the drug cartels, they try to exercise an influence over the areas. Like they have the regions of their own and whereby they try to exercise an influence of their own. As a result, it also results in increase of the violence or you can say violent activities. Then it can be used to finance the other kind of organized crime, that means linkage with the other organized crime, whereby the proceeds that has been earned out of the drug trafficking related activities, it can be used to fund the other kind of organized crime. Apart from this, a new pattern has been observed where the cyber enabled drug markets on, you can say, this darknet as well as crypto market, darknet and crypto market, they ensure the easy accessibility of various kinds of drug. They ensure the easy availability of various kind of drugs. Then the proliferation of fake online drug pharmacies is also a matter of great concern. Along with that, it is having an economic impact of its own. Economic impact of its own, as the money that has been earned out of the trafficking activities, it can be laundered. It can be laundered. Apart from this, it also results in a parallel economy. It also results in creation or establishment of a parallel economic system. Now, along with undermining the legitimate economy, then along with that, it can also result in the stressed relations with the foreign countries. Specifically, you see, foreign countries means, you see, if we see the physical or the geographical location of India, India is one such country which is sandwiched between two regions, namely Golden Crescent, this arc-shaped region, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran. In fact, INCB report has also highlighted the concerns with respect to influx of opium from Afghanistan, or heroin from Afghanistan. Then there is another region, Golden Triangle, highly infamous of a region, and the countries like Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, they are a part of this Golden Triangle. Both the regions are infamous for drug related activities. So there are security apprehensions. Further, what you see, these borders are highly porous in nature, so easy infiltration is possible. They are having poorly, you can say, very limited number of security patrols, very limited number of integrated checkposts. So there is a high proximity that the drug trafficking related activities can be conducted from this area. Also here, Pakistan is utilizing, specifically near the Indo-Punjab border, near the Pakistan border, that we, like Punjab is sharing the border with Pakistan. So Pakistan is utilizing the drone technology for the sake of drug trafficking. In fact, in 2023 to 22-23, around 195 drones, they were intercepted by the BSF, and they were involved where? They were involved in drug trafficking related activities. So because of the active involvement of these countries in the drug trafficking related activities or initiating the narco-terrorism related activities in our country, we are having strained or the tensed relations with this country. So that is how in the first part of the main body we can majorly talk about the kind of threats that we are having from the narco-terrorism measures or suggestive measures. The suggestive measures may include mass level awareness campaign, mass level awareness campaign, on lines of Operation Sadbhavna that was conducted by Indian Army in Jammu and Kashmir. And as a part of Operation Sadbhavna, they are creating awareness among the youth population with respect to the negatives of drug abuse. That means what could be the consequences of drug abuse. Along with that, they have established counseling centers. They have established counseling centers whereby they are teaching the people about about this drug abuse. Also, they are helping the drug addicts in rehabilitation. Apart from that, Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan is also one such effort towards the same. Then, in fact, another program called Nasha Mukt Jammu and Kashmir has also been initiated as a part of zero tolerance policy. Zero tolerance policy with respect to drug trafficking related activities. Further, another suggestive measures could be strengthening the legal framework. Strengthening of the legal framework. So we have one major legislation called NDPS, Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985. In fact, it is a major legislation in our country countering drug trafficking. It is one such legislation that says that transportation, possession, consumption, as well as storage of drugs is a punishable offense. But there is a need to strengthen the laws like NDPS Act as well as strengthening of criminal justice system. Establishment of fast track courts for the easy disposal of the issues related to drug trafficking. Then, international collaboration. Like recently in 2024, the DG level talks have been initiated between Myanmar and India. Along with that, there is a, you can say, framework called UNODC. So there is a need for active involvement with the other stakeholders in such global framework. Then, anti-drone technology need to be enhanced along with strengthening of CIBMS, Comprehensive Integrated Border Management System, so that our borders are protected. Once the borders will be protected, the borders will be properly surveillanced, the borders will be smartly fenced. So, these activities to a greater extent can be controlled. Along with that, the confidence building measures near border areas, with strengthening of not only the border infrastructure, but also creating the employment opportunities, for the youth population, so they are not engaged in the drug trafficking related activities, like Vibrant Village program. In fact, Vibrant Village 3.0 can be a good effort in this direction. In fact, it has already been initiated. Then Apart from that, border area development programs, BIM. These initiatives are the one which need to be strengthened to counter the menace of the drug trafficking related activities in the country, to counter the drug trafficking related activities. Now, in the confidence building measure, one more thing can be added, and that is human intelligence. Human intelligence. Human intelligence plays a very important role in countering such activities. Fine. So that is how this question, in fact, it is a direct question, it can be dealt with respect to that what have been the challenges that have been offered by narco-terrorism in India, or how it has emerged as a security threat, and simultaneously what could be the possible suggestive measures to combat the narco-terrorism related threat. Now, the second question that they have asked is with respect to the border disputes. It says, India has a long and a troubled border with China and Pakistan fraught with contentious issues. Examine the conflicting issues and security challenges along the border. Also gave out the development being undertaken in these areas under the Border Area Development Program and the Border Infrastructure and Management Scheme. Now, the introduction part of such question can start off with that India shares its border with two hostile neighbors, China and Pakistan, and India has a history of conflict and mistrust with both the hostile elements that has offered various internal security challenges. For India. Now, the main body part, they are majorly talking about what kind of contentious issues we are having with China and Pakistan. So, on one side we can say, in fact, it can always be started off with a heading like the India's long and troubled borders with Pakistan and China. India's long and the troubled borders with Pakistan and China. On the Pakistan side or on the Pakistan front, the major border challenges that we are facing includes the LOC dispute, in Jammu and Kashmir, along with the violations of ceasefire, then the drug trafficking related activities near the Punjab border and Rajasthan border. Also, the propaganda front by Pakistan, especially near the border areas. Along with infiltration by Pakistan. Pakistan means infiltration of the terrorist with Pakistan's support, especially during the winter season. Then we are also having Sir Creek border dispute with Pakistan. As of now, it has not been settled. Sir Creek border dispute with Pakistan. Then with another hostile neighbor, China, we are having the border dispute at LOC, line of actual control. Also, historical tensions with respect to Tawang, whereby China is asserting its claim over Arunachal Pradesh as a part of One China policy. As a part of One China policy, accordingly, China is also involved in salami slicing near the borders. China has also actively played an important role in fueling the insurgency in the northeast. Especially near the border areas, whereby they have provided the weaponry support, financial support, as well as in the past they have even provided the trainings in the tactical matters to the insurgent groups. So as a hostile element, China has played an active role in fueling the insurgency in the northeast. Then apart from that, China's infrastructure development near the border areas. China has developed a very sound railways and road infrastructure near the border areas. In fact, our satellite images have confirmed the same. Along with that, China has started developing, as a part of propaganda warfare, China has started developing, or propaganda front, artificial villages near the borders. These are majorly the camps that they have established, colony of camps that they have established near the border. Now, so because of this long and the troubled border history with India with Pakistan and China, it has offered the internal security challenges of their own, which can be observed in the form of conflicting issues. These conflicting issues can be seen in the form of, again, territorial disputes, then cross-border terrorism, then the excessive militarization and infrastructure or infra development, excessive, then violent clashes and skirmishes, like one we have seen in the form of Doklam standoff. With China, Doklam standoff with the Chinese forces. So also you see, it also have its own internal security related risk. This internal security risk can be observed in the form of, you see, that potential for radicalization with the support from China, and Pakistan. Again, fueling further more insurgencies. Then for fake Indian currency notes, like the fake Indian currency notes can enter the territory from the territory of India from China as well as from Pakistan. Then smuggling of goods, smuggling of especially electronic items, as well as precious stones from China. So they present their own set of apprehensions with respect to the internal security risk that we may possess because of these conflicting border disputes. Now the second aspect of the question majorly deals with the role of BADP, Border Area Development Program, and border infrastructure and management scheme in the development of the border areas. So this border area development program is one such program with an objective of development of border areas along with the fulfillment of the special needs of the people residing in the remote areas. And it is majorly centered around three things: infra development, the development of infrastructure, creation of livelihood opportunities, along with community welfare. Infra development majorly deals with the aspects like construction of roads, construction of bridges, the construction of tunnels, in order to ensure the full-time mobility. The livelihood opportunities or the livelihood aspect is majorly centered around the generation of the employment opportunities, especially by agricultural projects along with the development of skills so that they can lead a life of prosperity. Community aspect majorly includes ensuring the supply of water, electricity, strengthening of the local self-governance institution. The border infrastructure and management, it majorly focuses on border security, by construction and modernization of the already existing border infrastructure. Like CIBMS, Comprehensive Integrated Border Management System, which is comprised of a network of high-tech surveillance devices that includes sensors, that includes cameras, night vision cameras, long distance camera. This comprehensive integrated border management system, it helps in real-time monitoring of the border, as well as it also helps in keeping a cross-check onto the movement of the people, along with keeping a watch onto the other side of the border. So overall what we can say is that BADP and the BIM, they provides a very holistic solution. These are the two programs that have been initiated to provide a holistic solution to counter the challenges in the border areas that we are having. Now, that is how you can say these questions can be dealt with. Now, one last question is there that is related to social media. We were expecting a question on the social media this year because of the recent developments that have taken place. Social media and encrypting messaging services pose a serious security challenge. What measures have been adopted at various levels to address the security implications of social media? Also suggest any other remedies to address the problem. Social media. Social media, you see, it refers to a collection of online communication channels that are aimed at sharing the community-based content. But in the recent time, what has been observed that the social media is having its own internal security apprehensions. That can be observed in the form of honey traps, deepfakes, and social engineering attacks. That is how the introduction for such kind of questions can be provided, because these things have been in the news in 2023 as well as in 2024. The main body will include that how social media has offered its own set of challenges with respect to internal security. So, the social media has acted as a platform. Social media has acted as a platform to promote radicalization in the society, to provide radicalization in the society by means of religious indoctrination. By means of religious indoctrination. Religious indoctrination. Now, one example that can be taken for the purpose is the ISIS module of social media, whereby they are aiming at influencing the mindset of the youth in order to fill their ranks by radicalization. Then social engineering attacks. Social engineering attacks by using the social media platform. Social media platform. Here also, they are utilizing the techniques like pre-texting, honey traps, the catfish accounts, the accounts created to disguise the identity of real owner, and they are utilized for what? They are utilized for the activities like honey trapping, etc. Then another challenge that we have seen is with respect to fake news. The social media acting as a primary propagator of the fake news to create tensions in communities, to create tensions in the communities, to push a political agenda, as well as to make the illegal or illegitimate business gains. Illegal or illegitimate business gains by spread of fake news, And simultaneously, the social media is having the decentralized nature of its own. So, how this social media is having decentralized nature of its own, that means anyone can upload anything, anyone can download anything from any part of the country. Now, then propaganda warfare. Social media is equally a very important tool for propaganda warfare that can be observed in the form of toolkit controversy in our country. Toolkit controversy during the farmers' protest in our country. Now, toolkit controversy, whereby this toolkit was tweeted by one of the environmentalists from the Western countries, Greta Thunberg. It has resulted in the security apprehensions in our country. Then, apart from that, you see social media is acting as primary propagator of the deepfakes. Deepfakes basically refers to synthetic media or doctored or the morphed images that are created by using artificial intelligence based software. Artificial intelligence based softwares to disguise. Again, like one example of the deepfakes can be seen in the form of bully buy application. Then Sully deals is also an example of this deepfakes. Along with the Sully deals and the bully buy application, that someone has created the deepfake of the Honorable Prime Minister, that itself is having its own apprehension. During the elections, a number of the deepfakes have been circulated in the country. Then what we can see is that social media is equally an important tool for psychological warfare. Yes, that can be seen in the form of what? Social media resulting in fear death by means of the games like Blue Whale. Now, so social media can have its multiple applications in psychological warfare as a part of hybrid warfare or proxy warfare. Then apart from this, social media can be used to create polarization in the society. That means divide the society on the ideological lines and divide the society on the religious lines. Now, certain number of videos have propagated on social media platforms even in India after the Bangladesh violence. They have made an effort to divide the society on the religious lines. Now, religious lines. So, always try to substantiate your answers by giving certain recent examples whenever we are dealing with any such questions. The second part of this talks about that what are the measures that have been taken to deal or to counter the threats. Measures. What are the measures that have been taken to counter such threats? The measures can be discussed in the form of the Digital Protection Act of 2023, then the already existing IT Act, Information Technology Act 2000, which is the major legislation in the country to counter the social media related crimes. Apart from this, the IT guidelines, they have fixed the responsibility of the social media platforms. Then, along with the IT guidelines, rebuttal mechanism to trace the origin of the news in the form of Facebook Zero. And apart from that, you see one more is there, this PIB fact check. PIB fact check is also one such platform. Then after this, there are certain provisions in the IPC, also known as Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, like these sections are there, 153A, section 153B. Now, along with that, one more thing that we can talk about is the Disaster Management Act. The Disaster Management Act also provides for framework for prosecution of those who are spreading the fake news or the rumors in the society. Now, like the COVID-19, during the COVID-19 situation, a number of the misinformation was spread during that health crisis. So, these are some suggestive measures or the existing frameworks with respect to the countering the threats related to social media. That is how such questions can of course be dealt. Again, it is a dynamic question. Now, majorly the current aspects are, so this is how these such questions are the one which can be dealt. So, this time comparatively, if we assess the internal security questions, so simple and the direct questions have been asked by UPSC. I hope you had a wonderful means to take very good care of yourself. That's all we have. Thank you.